ons het ons teikenmark, ons market research gedoen.
Okay, so dit is nie Sabona nie. Okay, go for it.
Good day South Africa, good day South Africa, the belongs to Africa. Welcome to episode, what are we now at? 12 of Survivor South Africa, DissectWithLem. Lot of emotions. We've got mixed reactions in ourselves. Some people very angry and some people extremely angry. All hyped up all over the place. Joining me is Hannes as always. Hannes, man of a moustache. Wait. How are you?
Good evening, Lem. I'm very well, thanks. How's things going on your side?
It has been better. I am a bit disappointed in this episode of Survivor. Not at the episode itself, but at some of my players not coming up the mast. How's things going on your side?
I'm also well, and I must agree with you. I'm very disappointed with the way certain players this episode reacted and went about their way of business. But will you lead us into it and then we can discuss it?
Yeah, I agree. I'll lead us into it. It's like, you buy the ticket to go see the old circus and then just, the one guy performs. It's just a clown, There's no elephant, there's no jokes. It's just one guy and you're like, where's the rest of the show? But yeah, let's
I hate it when that happens.
Whoa, sorry, just a bit of a technical transpositional error there. We end up the previous episode with a vote out of Tony to Bart. Some of us are crying about that one. And we see immediately people going, Tony, when she went out, a bit salty, saying, Werner's a snake, you guys following him, and he's immediately saying, no. And it just sets off a chain reaction of all these little conversations happening this episode, which was the theme, I think, for this episode.
Yes, to a certain extent it did. I think, so you have the Big Five Alliance, and then you have PK on the out. And I think Werner, which I like to call him now, the friendly dictator.
Yes,
easygoing.
The mafia boss is like...
The mafia boss, I prefer the term the friendly dictator. So, he, to a certain extent, he controls all the people around him, all the outcasts around him, he controls them. And I don't know if they know that they are being controlled by him. It's good gameplay, really it is.
It definitely is. I think also Werner is like... It's like, a BB gun or one of these cheap air filtered rifles you buy your kid at 12 and you're like, this thing's harmless, it's not going to do anything. And they play around with it and suddenly, boom, shoots out the kid's eye and you're like, whoa, this thing can actually pack a punch. And I think we've got in a similar situation with Werner on our screens right now. People don't really think he's going to be a threat, and then at the end just going to, boom, pull out the big ammunition.
Exactly like you say. So we can get into the whole Werner, the friendly dictator thing in a later stage. Would you first want to go into the challenges, the everything?
Yes, we can start with the auction. I realized I had to do homework on it, so while you're talking, I'm going to research the peso to rand exchange rate. So we see the Survivor Classic. This is like Windows 98 of Minesweeper. Everybody knows about it. It's as old as the book of Survivor auction. You get your $500, whether it be USD, US dollars, or pesos in this case, and yeah, you've got all this food stuff, and we always know there's something at the end, a bit of an advantage. And you want to talk us through this one?
So the auction really is basic supply and demand. If you haven't been to university, it's economics 101. Really, what is the produce and what are you willing to pay for a certain produce? It's 101. It's economics 101, really. And it's
Hannes, can I ask you a question about economics? Just
yes.
Without, you don't have this information. Which currency is stronger, the peso or the rand?
I don't know.
No, you have to take a guess.
I would probably say the peso is Mexico, or...
Well, there's only one peso, I'm assuming. So I'm just going peso to rand.
Philippines doesn't have the peso.
Well, that's what they gave him. So you have to go. Peso or rand, which one's stronger?
I'd go for South Africa always, so let's go for the rand.
Yeah, like PK, you were South African, yes. So African rand, 1 rand is 1.4 peso. So they gave him about, what's that, 500 times 4. They gave him about $700.
But they're in the Philippines, so what's the Philippines currency?
I don't know, we can discuss this later. But yeah, so let's get into the podcast like you said.
Just to all the fans, our Google on that doesn't work.
I'll check it out now while you speak. Yeah, so I think you're saying a right thing. It's supply and demand, and we've seen people previously put in big bids to get the price up and empty the people's wallets. Similarly, we had these big things, Tom put out a big one, John early with that, getting that bowl of chicken. And then, Werner even saying, there's going to be an advantage. And when you saw that small container, you should have known that an advantage is in the mix. But PK opting not to go for it.
Yes, and that was one thing I thought PK, knowing that he was in a, well, not even in a minority alliance, out on the outside, really, because it was 5 against 1. And then he opted not to go for the secret clue, which Nico gave him, and went for the biltong and the beer, which always is a good option. But we're not dealing for $1 million here. Oh, R1 million, me and you. I thought PK should have gone for the clue. The clue could have gone, or could have been, one of many things. What do you say, Lem?
I think definitely the clue is always a better one. But we've spoken about this again and again and again. It's like a song that's stuck on repeat. At this point in time, you're hungry, you're fatigued, this challenge is coming. So that food, it's like a massive advantage in itself, So I think you can't fault somebody at that point in time with thinking with the stomach and not the head.
Lem, can I interject?
You may interject. Go.
If I might say it, and I've said it before, he controls himself, controls the game.
Okay, may I say something? I've just seen now. I apologize, guys. This is a big correction on our side. It's actually the Philippine peso. So the Philippine peso and the Mexican pesos, 2 separate pesos. Don't be mistaken. Philippine peso is 4 pesos for 1 rand. So they didn't give him a lot of bucks. John was throwing out the money, going boom, boom, boom. That was just 125. Not that much. I mean, But one thing I want to add on the auction before while we're derailing this currency conversation. One thing I do want to say, and I think there's a lot of South Africans, and this is what I think PK, what a guy. If you have to choose any meal or dish, and they put a bowl of biltong in front of you with a can of beer or a whole draft, I think you made the right choice. If you could choose any food, that is the food you choose.
Basic South African food, we all know it. So I'm not blaming him for choosing the food. However, this is a game. You're hungry, you're tired, you miss your family, you miss your necessities at home. I get that. However, he controls himself, controls the game. So think further. Think, what might a clue be? And the thing is, he had a clue. So a clue and biltong, boerewors, and beer. But he went for the beer. And I mean, I would probably have done the same, but I'm not there.
Yes.
Sitting from the couch, I thought, why do you do it?
And then we see Katinka, who's being posed as quite a challenge threat at this point in time of a race, picking up that challenge, that advantage. We'll get to the challenge later. Before we get to that, there's a bit of shenanigans at camp. There's this chain long of he said, she said that he did this and that, and this whole trail. And then I think Werner did an excellent move. He did what I call the little finger strat. He said, you know what? Those who Game of Thrones fans know what this is. Littlefinger, Littlefinger said, listen, what I'm going to do, I'm going to step back, I'm going to create some chaos, I'm going to let you all kill each other, fight, go, rape, murder, plunge, and then he just swoops in at the end, takes a spoil. So I think Werner, excellent in choreographing this fight between PK and Tom.
Definitely. One thing which you need to realize is the fact that there's less contestants on the island, so there's less personalities. Because there's less personalities, more stress. You can't blow off on anyone else, because if you blow off on person A, then it will spill over to person B, etc. So I think Werner, to a certain extent, he almost like created the flame, and PK, Tom, they went for each other. They weren't never in the same tribes, and there's a bad situation.
And then one thing I also want to say that really surprised me. There's a lot of surprises in the season. Some of them by the players, some of them by production. But one big surprise we had now was when PK was tuning Werner saying, listen, I'm going to change this gear from English, I'm going to put it in Xhosa, and just tuning PK back in Xhosa. I think something that not many people were expecting
Wasn't
at this point
that
in time
Tom?
from Tom.
It was Tom tuning him back in Xhosa.
Yeah, I read on Twitter it's Xhosa. I might be wrong. I'm not I speak only Sepedi, so.
For me, I think it was Zulu, but let the fans correct us. I'm fairly well on my Zulu. Many of the words I know I won't say now. For the sake of the production, you know.
Honest, but there's some stuff you can't speak about now. One of them being the challenge. We see the classic pinball challenge. You know, you flick the ball up, wait for it to come down. You know that whole getting that rhythm in.
Again.
And surprise, surprise, Werner comes home with the goods once again.
Yes. So Werner, we've seen it, is a challenge beast. It's a classic survivor challenge. It's a classic individual challenge. You know, you're never in front, you never ahead. You have two variables which you need to manage at the same time, and I won't say luck at all, but Werner played it the best. I don't think the other players played it bad, but I think Werner played it the best. He managed the different variables the best, and he walked away.
Yeah, walked away with the prize, you know. And we come back to camp. Now we see Annalisa. She's coming up with this plan. She say, listen, PK, can't tell you what it is. I need you to believe, trust in me. And ultimately a lot of shenanigans going on, but really a lot of smoke and mirrors, something not really happening. What's your take on this setting up the pieces before they go into tribal council?
So I think like I've labeled Werner now the friendly dictator. If and we've discussed it last week, if they wanted to get rid of Werner, then they should have done it last week. This week, Annalise had a second vote. I think many of the tribe members are scared of Werner, and they didn't make the move. Annalise had a second vote.
I want to disagree with you. I don't think the people are scared of Werner. I think Werner is one of those people. He's very charismatic. He's very trusting. Comes from his job as from being a pastor. So I think people trust him, but not like trust, like really trust, like a deep-rooted trust. We even heard Katinka saying, listen, when shit goes down and I don't know what's going on, I go to Werner, I say, listen, let's get on the same page, let's recalibrate. He's my go-to guy. And similarly, Tony was Werner's go-to guy, John is Werner's go-to guy. So a lot of people, you know, feel they can really trust him. And that's one of the most underutilized skills of most Survivor winners. You know, if you look at somebody like Denise, who wins also actually Survivor Philippines, she was similar. People said, I can trust this person because she's a therapist, I can speak to her, and then people were just relaying information to her. So not a bad strategy, and I think one which is doing him quite well.
I agree with you. The thing is, you should not be scared, and at the moment I'm feeling, and the feeling I'm getting watching the show is that to a certain extent they are scared of Werner, aka the friendly dictator. In the sense that, why didn't Annalise pull together the people and blindside Werner with her extra vote?
No, definitely.
I mean, she had that advantage.
Definitely,
why not use it? Now she uses it, or she didn't use it, and PK goes home. She loses her own strategic advantage.
No,
why?
Definitely. I think.
Tell me why.
Annalisa is on the strain, you know. It's on the strain. It's going high speed straight to Nowhereville. Okay, so you got one or two plans. You can stay on the train, go to Nowhereville. It's got one last stop before you get there. It's called Final 5. Or you can say, listen, I'm going to ditch this train. I'm going to get out. I'm going to throw some dynamite. I'm going to jump out. I'm going to make a big splash or a big woo-ah. Either way, you do something. She did not do either. She did not do the blow down the bridge strat. She said, I'm okay with cruising down the strain. I'm okay with 5th place. This is it. So I think there was a window. If you think about it, 3 and 3. That's the time when one use extra votes. So you get the 3-4. Using the extra vote at the uneven time, at best you can do is force a draw unless you've got the majority, which you don't have. So a golden window for Annalisa to take the shot, and unfortunately, once again, did not do it.
I agree. I'd be surprised if Werner does not win this game. I'd really be surprised.
Bold statement, but there's a long list of people on Twitter saying exactly the same thing, saying at this point it's his race to lose. But yeah, let's get to the tribal council. We see the people the jury come in. Now, I think I might be pulling out spoilers here. Spoilers, what we all see. But I think this is going to be a better jury. We all see them there with their stone faces, crossed arms.
I don't think the term a bitter jury is really right. Once you go out of the game, you are bitter. And again, you think about the game, you think 20 days back, 25 days back, you think every action, every reaction, how did it influence you, and you move forward. So, I won't say bitter,
May I ask you a question in return? Okay, we don't have a lot of footage, or we don't know these people personally. If Tevin sat on that jury, do you think you would have been like, oh no, would Tevin have been like, you guys got me, well fucking done, good on you, I'm enjoying this show because I'm happy on this side, I had a blast, I'm going to watch you guys play it out.
Look,
do you disagree with me or do you not disagree?
It's difficult to say. Yeah. Tevin went out before the jury stage.
But I'm asking you, do you think he would have sat there, crossed arms and frowned, or do you think he would have been like, you know what, you guys played good on you?
It's a 50-50, really, Lem. On the one side, you can say, you've beaten me fair and square, I'm on a jury and I'm on objective. On the other side, you can also say, well, you're a snake and I'll get you in the end. That's what this game makes so great.
Yeah, definitely. And then, so we see all the votes. They didn't even read PK's vote. I saw actually afterwards he voted for Anneliese. They just piled 5 on, slam dunk, boom. PK, thanks, get your stuff, get out of here. There's a spot for you on that bench right over there. And we see him once again going you're a snake, you're a snake, you're a snake. PK's game came to let's say a dramatic end. He tried his best at the end, but I think these people know if they leave him too long, that all jury's going to vote for him. So, rather eat their own than keep him.
Should I do the obituary now or later?
No, I think we can kick off the obituary. You can start. I'm ready to hear what you have to say.
Okay, perfect. So, as is custom on the podcast, I'm doing the obituary. Since all from the
jury face.
The jury face, yes, the merge. That's what I was looking for. So PK, he had a great run. He was in the stronger tribe from the start. And again, we've said this time and time before. Once you are in the stronger tribe from the start, it just gives you momentum as the game goes on. And I think looking back on this season, PK will be remembered for blindsiding Tevin. Yeah, and definitely. Tevin was such a good player. And PK himself was a very good player. He was my winner pick. Go back to our cast assessment. It was a close
race between, let's just quickly stop this and start new conversation. It was a close race between our two winner picks. Anyone could have won it at the end. Your guy came 6th, my guy came 17th. So, could have gone either way, but congratulations, you won the prize. I admit, you had the better winner pick in PK than me, and banking on a man Neil, who did not deliver the goods, but not to his own fault. Bad luck of the draw.
So Lem says it was a close race. Close race.
I'll 6, 17, yeah, anything could have happened.
But in any case, so the fact that he was in a good tribe, again, it adds to your advantages. Definitely. Going later in the game. He played a good strategic game. He was good in challenges. And furthermore, the best blindside was the blind side of Tevin. I think Tevin against Werner would have been something quite extraordinary, maybe in a merge situation. He got rid of Tevin and said, this is a very strong player, let me get rid of him. And once it got to the merge, again, almost the same as Tony, he didn't really find his feet. And as a result, got to the back wheel or to the back burner. And maybe it cost him his place. The question is next week.
Yeah,
but PK, one of the best.
Yeah, to your point,
he was
playing catch-up survivor from the get-go after eating that merge. And things for him and Shanae and the Tony Alliance just never really fell into place. They just the stars didn't align for their small band of adventurers. Now, Hannes, your player of the week. You've got a grand total of 6 to choose from. Who did you elect this time?
Look, it's difficult. I don't really.
You don't look like you've prepared a player of the week.
I didn't really. Werner won the immunity title, and
a
to
bowl
a
of
certain
rice.
extent, on the background, he did make his things go.
Yeah, so
Again, the silent dictator, the silent godfather. I like the term the silent dictator.
I thought it
I
was
won't use the term
friendly dictator.
the friendly dictator. I won't use the term Stalin or Lenin or any of those bad stuff, but the friendly dictator at least.
Yes.
And he won immunity, and he still got his Big Five tribe to vote out Pico, who's on the outside.
Yes.
So, player of the week, Werner.
And now, honest, we get to a very exciting part. This is one of those things, it's always gonna happen. It's like cheating on your wife. Sometimes somebody's gonna catch you. We get to that point in Survivor where we say, listen, you've got 5 guys left, and you were all in this big alliance. It was a happy-go-lucky family. You voted out all the other guys. Good on you, well done. But now we have to sit down and decide which of our own are we gonna eat first. Always an exciting time. What do you, not I'd say predict, but what do you think is going to happen with the shake-up of this big 5 alliance, as you call it?
So looking back, giving me 50 seconds, I would say they should have turned on each other earlier. Maybe get PK in, get someone out earlier, then there's a 4 alliance versus 1. Then you guarantee top 4. Now, Annelies or John is next.
Yes, I think Annelies is going to use her vote, but I
don't think she can.
But look, like Werner's got the idol, right? So he's, I think Final 5 is the last time he can use it. He's going to use it Final 5. Then he's guaranteed Final 4. So 2 or 1 immunity runs and boom, they're sitting in the final. We don't really know if it's a Final 3 or a Final 2. We have 3 episodes left, if I'm not mistaken. We've got this one and 2 more of finale. So it looks like it's going to perhaps be a Final 2, but we'll have to wait and see. Hannes, any closing thoughts from your side? Anything you want to speak about, or if you want to get straight to... Oh, I have to do the social media bit. Wait a minute.
Yes, of course, Lem.
Of course. You're stealing the show. This is actually, call it Dissect with Hannes. So, guess, hosted by Lem. Okay, I've got 2 questions, 2 comments here on Twitter. Sorry for leaving this so late. If you are mentioning it, apologies for wasting 20 minutes of life. The 2 is, one is Tashmelo saying, I predicted that Pika would be voted out even before the episode aired. But just read both and then you can quickly discuss it. And the second one is Jar of Clay at just Tande or Tandy. I'm not exactly sure how you say your name. Saying, where is the tweet now? Saying, oh no, my last favorite player was voted off. Nothing interesting left to watch. So all of these people saying, a lot of people saying, we know Pika was going to be voted out, and then the second half people saying they're disappointed and sad to see their boy, the proudly South African Pika, go. Do you think a lot of people can resonate with the Twitter crowd at the moment?
Look, definitely. I think Pika was from the beginning a very likable player. Like I've also said in the obituary, he was a strong player, he was a strong team player, but also he was a strong individual player. Yes, the cards weren't dealt in his favor come merge, but at the same time, he had a good scramble game come merge, and the people generally liked him. I mean, our fans told us they like PK, they want him to go far because he's, especially come merge, a dark horse.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there you have it, guys. PK voted out. Another dramatic episode, and now Final 5. So things are just gonna get more excited from here. Hannes, if people want to get you on social media, where can they get hold of you? And do you use multiple social platforms?
Indeed, I do. So Twitter, as you all know by now, I'm at JHLerm. It's LERM. And then on Instagram.
That's the one.
Die lekker ou wat draf en bier drink.
Yes, that's indeed Hannes' stuff. If you want to get me, you can get me at D_Lem, or if you're English, at Die_Lem. You can also check out, we've got Instagram feed showing occasionally stuff. Our social media manager, also known as my wife, has posted some videos, so I think, or photos, I'm not exactly sure. And then, yeah, you guys can check out on YouTube, like this page, subscribe to it if you want to get the notifications. Thanks for your support. Hit us your thoughts and suggestions below in the hate slate, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, because we have day jobs, we're not professional podcasters. Thanks, guys. That's from our side. Take care. Bye bye.